Bobby Mobley is packing for a trip, a long one. It'll take her almost 24 hours to fly to the West African country of Liberia. But this is no vacation, rather a mission to bring supplies and food to students at a school in Monrovia. Supplies she's collected over the past 5 months from Central Kentucky schools, churches, and people.
The shipment that I just made, I was not able to even walk into this room.
6 wardrobe-sized boxes full of school supplies and food were shipped ahead of her arrival. Mobley's first visit to Liberia was for a wedding. She fell in love with the country, went back a second time, and saw a school in need.
And then just seeing the children sitting in classroom with no books.
On that visit, she had supplies in hand. The principal was so happy with her charity, he wanted to name the school after her.
I said, no, don't name it after me, name it after my mother.
The school is now called the Nancy T. Mobley International Academy. Nancy T. Mobley passed away 24 years ago. Bobby is grateful her Central Kentucky community has stepped up to help the academy.
When I ask, then it's just, what do you need? How can I help?
Some may ask, why help people thousands of miles away when there are people in need right here in the bluegrass?
The need is greater because they have absolutely no means.
Her motivation is simple.
God put me here to serve, so this is my way to serve.
A commonwealth of kindness that stretches overseas. In Lexington, Jeremy Toms, WKYT.